So, Adam, it goes like... So, like that?
Like that, but not that.
Welcome to Just Not Cricket. It is a football podcast hosted by myself, Hal Stewart, and Adam Scott. We would like to begin the podcast with a dramatic pause and say thank you very much to CM0102 Super League. We have a mutual sponsorship arrangement going on, and you can check out their work on Twitter at CM0102SL. They do a regular blog. All our podcasts are linked on their WordPress site as well. So thank you very much to CM0102 Super League for sponsoring and allowing us to sponsor them. It's mutually beneficial, Adam.
I concur.
We really hope that these podcasts remain timeless. That's the idea, isn't it, Adam?
Yes?
Yes, that's the idea.
Yes, it is. As I stand here on the 2nd of February, 2019...
Oh, you're properly giving away.
I so decree that this shall be timeless.
So we won't do anything that gives away the date or any maybe fixtures or any predictions, because there's enough podcasts out there that already have opinion on what's going on. I feel like we want to make a podcast that people can dip in and dip out of at any time.
I feel you have already broken this rule so many times in the past.
Yeah, but don't you feel like because it's ours we can change the rules whenever we want?
Oh, I'm getting mixed signals from you.
Rule change. Do you know that the platypus both lays eggs and produces milk, which means it's one of the few animals in the world that can make its own custard?
Would you eat that custard?
Do you know, I'm not a fan of custard anyway.
I hate custard.
Do you just dislike it as well?
I have a thing about yellow food. Hate bananas as well.
No, I like bananas. I don't like corn on the cob, though, so I'll go with you on that.
Uh-huh.
What else is a yellow food? Chips, and you don't like chips?
I mean, custard is very, very yellow.
What about custard and chips?
Chips is more of an off yellow, and custard and chips is an aberration.
No, I reckon that would work. Can I tell you something else that works? Sausage and marmalade.
Just disgust me.
Did you see, keeping this timeless, last week, the Everton fan who got sliced on his face by a Millwall fan with a knife?
Oh, this is taking a dark
Well, I don't know
turn.
if you saw the footage of the fighting.
No, I didn't.
A load of men in sort of cagoules. I don't know what they call those.
Men who should know better. I feel like we shouldn't.
What are those jackets called? Like those puffer jackets?
Coats?
Yeah, men in coats. They're having a fight. How do hooligans know who's on their side and who is their enemy? Because they're both wearing very similar clothes. I would like to propose decorative, colour-coded woolen hats.
The mysterious player of mystery.
Sounds like you, that guy.
Thank you. I think you know how much I hate my voice, so thank you for once again pointing it out.
I also hate your voice.
That is very unkind.
All right, would you rather I said like this? I love your voice.
Actually, no, I prefer the unkind version.
See, you're like a woman. You don't know what you want.
I don't know what to say to
Don't worry,
that.
this is timeless. We can pretend we recorded this in 1960 when that sort of thing was not only welcome, very much encouraged.
And before you were married to a woman who may well hear that comment and not be happy with you.
Oh, she's never happy with me anyway. Now, Mysterious Player of Mystery, the way that this works, it is 10-8, currently the score to Adam. Adam is going to give the career history of a, hopefully, well-known player, not someone that no one's ever heard of.
You did last time.
Romario. Do you know we actually released that episode on the day of his 53rd birthday? And I had no idea of that. It was a pure coincidence.
Well, you had no idea of that because he's obscure. He never gets mentioned.
If I get it right, after all the career history has been revealed at the end of the podcast, I get 3 points. If I need the player's position, I get 1 point. And obviously, if I don't get it right, like Adam last week with Romario.
Anyone else out there heard of Romario?
I actually got quite a few people get in touch on Twitter, at JNCPod, and tell me that they got that one correct.
Quite a few people.
In the twos.
I have a player for you. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Not as obscure as your effort last time, I might add. I'm giving you at least a fighting chance.
Was it 55 goals in 70 appearances for Brazil? Romario.
Metz is the first team.
In France.
In La Belle France. Mm-hmm. Salernitana in Italy. Liverpool in Merseyside. West Ham United. FC Cologne. Lens. Galatasaray and Trabzonspor.
There is a player that I have in mind, but I'm really not sure, so I may well need the position. We will come to that at the end of the podcast. Now, you thought I was going to forget, didn't you?
I hoped.
What am I talking about?
Okay,
it was the
is
question.
Is it our anniversary?
No, it's the question. You always forget. It's the question that we posed at the end of the last podcast.
Oh, yes, I remember this. There was a question. It was about somebody getting sacked.
Who was the first ever Premier League manager sacked?
Yes.
Do you know the answer? Did you look it up? Did you even remember?
I know the answer.
Go on, then.
It's I did look it up.
You just know it, don't you?
I just know
it's
it.
It's almost like someone told you.
It's like you accidentally let it slip.
Yeah.
Before we started
recording. It's a
recording.
bit like that, but of course it's not that. So who is it, Adam?
I believe, Hal,
you better get this right
that
now.
it was Ian Porterfield who was sacked as manager of Chelsea.
By Ken Bates, the then Chelsea chairman.
He was
Correct.
known for his sacking.
Now, do you know that Roman Abramovich is actually pronounced Roman Abramovich?
On that same note, can I just throw in that Maria Sharapova is actually Maria Sharapova?
Yes, if you're using the Latin. So when Roman Abramovich was first coming over to these shores to buy a club, he was looking originally at Tottenham Hotspur, but for whatever reason, didn't like that, and in his helicopter, travelling away from the ground, he flew over Stamford Bridge, asked whose stadium that was, and the rest, as they say, is...
L'histoire.
L'histoire.
Can you imagine being so rich that you just go out browsing for a football club to buy?
I know which football club I'd buy.
Which football club would you buy?
West Ham. And then I would concrete over the stadium and have their entire history and current identity destroyed.
Right.
Who would you?
Genuinely,
Actually, no, I'd keep Andy Carroll.
Genuinely, I have thought about this.
I'd just keep him.
And I have identified the club that I would purchase if I were worth...
Really?
$1 billion or so.
Is
because they do say owning a football club is the fastest way to become a millionaire.
Yeah, if you're already a billionaire.
If you start off as a billionaire, yes. You know, I'll set it up. You then steal the punchline. Why
I can
not?
do that. I can do that.
Why not, indeed?
I've been
You're
doing
the
it for
Gary
24
Lineker
episodes.
of jokes.
Oh, nice. Go on, which club then?
Coventry City.
Why?
Because they are the only club in a big city, so they've got potentially a big fan base. They're quite down on their luck, so you'd like to think a bit of cash.
Mm-hmm.
They could rise through the leagues. Also,
Got a terrible badge. Get rid of that elephant.
they've got their ownership is awful.
Yeah.
Currently.
Don't they make printers, their owners?
Or Rico.
Yeah, I think
they
they
just sponsor they sponsor the stadium that Coventry do not own.
Do you know Coventry's club shop isn't even at the stadium?
Where is it?
It's in the Tesco's next door.
Well, there you go. That sums it up.
You've got to sort that out then when you get
Exactly.
in charge.
They are a club in sore need of
I'll do you a favour.
ownership.
I
that
will
actually
sell
knows
you
what they're doing.
my Andy Carroll. Time now.
I don't want your Andy
You're
Carroll.
going to have him. Time now for stats.
He can
and
work
stuff.
in the club shop.
He'd always be off sick.
He'd be able to reach stuff off the top shelf.
Oh yeah, there is that. What are you selling in this club shop? There's going to be families
I'm
in
pretty
there.
sure every shop has a top shelf.
Yeah, but you know where I was going with that. And personally,
Where were you going with that?
porn. And I think that they should be on the bottom shelf with the other do-it-yourself magazines. DIY.
Yeah.
DIY magazines.
Yeah. Just smutty.
Stats and
Well, you're
stuff.
trying to raise the bar of this thing.
We
and
never
once
agreed on the
again-
bar raising.
Once again,
We
you
never
have
agreed
lowered
on
that
that.
tone.
I haven't. How dare you? Stats and stuff.
Outrageous.
Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang said correctly.
Not how you pronounce
How
his
do
name.
you say it?
Aubameyang.
Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang has scored this season on every day of the week.
What a week that was.
There was actually a time, I think, that Arsenal played 2 consecutive games on 2 consecutive days, I seem to recall.
Did they?
Am I at JNC Pod? Am I going mad? That's on Twitter. If
That
you
does sound like madness.
let me know. Is that the first sign or the second?
Third or fourth.
Right.
I mean, you're well down the road.
Mm.
Did you know, in 1997, which may be in the future from here, who knows, timeless, East Bengal beat Mohan Bagan 4-1 in a Federation Cup semi-final in Kolkata. Baiching Bhutia, you may remember him, scored a hat-trick.
He played for Bury.
He briefly played for Bury. It was watched, this is obviously taking place in India, and it was watched by 131,000 fans.
That's a lot of people.
That is a lot of people. That is still the largest sporting attendance ever in the country of India. Talking of highest attendances, coming up we have a special guest all the way from Turkey. And the highest attendance ever recorded for a second-tier match happened in Turkey.
No way.
In 1981, the local derby between Göztepe and Karşıyaka attracted a crowd of 80,000 fans.
That's a lot of people for a second-tier game.
Second-tier match. I know we get quite good attendances in the Championship over in this fine country of ours, but 80,000, that is a lot of people for a second-tier game.
Which player was named the Czech Footballer of the Year for 6 consecutive years between 2008 and 2013?
It's got to be Petr Cech, hasn't it?
It is Petr Cech. All right, here's a little tricky one for you, all right? This is an England international who appeared 15 times for England and scored once against Albania.
Uh-huh.
Who was that? And really, with the way that this guy did in the Premier League, should have won so many more caps.
Oh, I think I know. Kevin Phillips.
Andrew Cole.
Really? He only won?
15 caps, and then he scored once.
Actually,
Isn't that
think
amazing?
about it. Kevin Phillips, I think, don't think reached 15
No,
caps.
I think you're absolutely right. Okay, at the end of the 2017-18 season, which club has won the most Serie A titles?
I feel like you want me to say Juventus.
Say Juventus then.
No.
Fine.
AC Milan.
It's Juventus.
Oh. That's such an obvious answer.
Because it's the correct answer.
Okay.
I tried. Will you listen back to this? You never listen back, do you?
Nah.
When you do, you'll realise I tried to help you. Which player scored the first hat-trick of the 2018-2019 Premier League season? He plays for Man City.
In that case, it might have been...
Can you do it in a Martin Tyler voice?
No. Sergio Aguero.
It is. Do you want me to do it in a Martin Tyler voice?
If you like.
Aguero!
Talking of that very moment, in fact, in 2011-2012, Mario Balotelli
Yes!
scored 13 goals.
He did.
For Man City. He also registered one single assist in the entire season. That assist was for that Sergio Aguero goal against QPR that won the title on the last day of the season in that amazing finish that nearly gave Martin Tyler an early grave.
Yeah, it sounded like a coronary.
2 Premier League players have scored penalties with both feet. Not the same penalty, before you have some funny comment.
Well, I remember Zenden touched the ball twice when he slipped in the game against Birmingham. I think it was the League Cup final when he was playing for Middlesbrough.
Yeah.
And touched it twice.
With the same foot, though, wasn't it?
I think it might have been different feet.
Also, that doesn't count.
Okay, and it shouldn't have counted, but it did, if you know what I mean.
I still think it was the same foot.
He slipped with the right heel, hit it, and then the left followed through.
Yeah, that don't count.
Okay.
Also, because he's not on my list.
Go on, who are they?
Bobby Zamora.
No way.
Yeah. And Obafembi.
Obamafemi.
Oh.
Which part of South Wales is he from?
Mafadwe. Bobby Zamora.
Yeah.
And Obafemi Martins.
Obafemi Martins, is it?
Richard Wright. Remember him?
Yeah, the goalkeeper.
Yeah. Do you know how much money he earned when he was playing for Man City?
Well, he didn't play a lot for Man City, so, you'd hope it wasn't too much. What are you going to tell me?
£4.1 million. He didn't make a single appearance in 4 years.
We could have done that.
If they need someone to be their third choice goalkeeper, I volunteer.
You're happy to do that. I think I'd have
pick
more of a
me.
chance because I'm much taller than you.
Are you?
Yes.
Are you
We've
really?
done this before. We've been over
Much
this.
taller.
Even when you were wearing those special shoes that your mum got you. Let's play a game. What did we decide on this? Was it money or funny? Dosh or tosh?
Wronger or wonga?
Cash or trash? Okay, I'm going to give you the currency of a particular nation, Adam. You're going to tell me what nation. No ABC because you're so good at this. And then you're going to tell me something football related about that country.
Right.
How's about and I might pronounce this incorrectly, the Hrivnia.
What?
The Hrivnia. The Hrivnia.
The Harevnia?
The Hrivnia.
The Harevnia. Oh.
It's not said in that voice because that won't help. Well, it's
I
not
feel
far
like,
away
I
from
feel
that.
like you ruined it with the pronunciation because I don't know.
Okay, well...
I want my choices.
No, I can't. I'm not
Give
giving
me my choice.
No, I'm not giving you.
Well, you can't think of a country off the top of your head.
All right, fine. Is it Russia, Hungary, Ukraine?
Ukraine.
It is. Tell me something about the Ukraine.
The current national coach of the Ukraine in this timeless podcast is Andrei Shevchenko.
No
who
way.
Is also one of their most celebrated former players.
And got into politics.
As did a former national coach, Oleg Blokhin.
As did Romario.
Who?
Yeah, I know. Look him up, kids. Here's another one. The Forint.
That might be Hungary.
It is Hungary.
Oh.
Yes.
It's probably a bit of a sad state of affairs, Hungarian football, because there was a time in sort of the 50s when Hungary was the centre of all football. Their national team was magnificent. Their coaches were sought after all over Europe. And they never really won anything. And then that generation, they had Ferenc Puskás being the absolute star, but there was a whole host of names. That generation went away, and they've just been living sort of haunted by the ghosts of the past ever since.
Well, they've had Zoltan Gira.
Yes, they did. Yes.
Good, glad you added to that.
Do you have anything to add on Zoltan Gira?
Well, our friend of the podcast, Paul Chappell, was on, wasn't he? And he gave us his West Brom 11 and had Zoltan Gira in there.
It did.
What about the Renminbi?
The what?
Renminbi.
The Renminbi.
Renminbi.
The Renminbi.
Renminbi.
I don't think that's a thing.
China.
Really?
I don't know. I think they've got more than one. Tell me something about China. No, I've never been to China. I know they'll eat anything.
I've also not been to China.
Okay. You've been to Argos?
That's a very hard in.
Just because Onel Hernandez, the Norwich winger, said they don't have anything like Argos in Germany, which I think is a lie.
Yeah,
and he
they
loved
don't
it.
have shops.
Exactly, yeah, where you could purchase products that you don't already own. I think it's the pen that really did it for him.
The pen. He'd never seen a pen before.
Maybe not the size of an Argos pen.
Ah, they are magnificent.
They are magnificent. When you actually hold one, you feel like a giant.
There is a Chinese football league with Sheffield United, isn't there?
There's more than one. A Hey Ho Dong. Real striker, Hey Ho Dong. Lee Tia.
Hey Ho Dong.
Sun Ji Hai.
Yes.
All of these have played for the Blades, and of course there was Chengdu Blades, which is an affiliate Chinese club.
What happened to Chengdu Blades?
It's a bit murky. I don't want to get into that.
Okay.
But my parents actually went to Chengdu, and my dad came back with a shirt for me, which I still have.
Why did they go to Chengdu?
Oh, just on holiday.
I mean, China, I'm sure, is a beautiful country, but I'm not sure I've ever heard Chengdu being
Where would you
high
think,
on
then?
the list of places to go.
Give me a beautiful
I mean,
affiliate.
you want to go to the Great Wall, don't you? You want to see the Forbidden City,
They
the
should,
Terracotta Army.
should link up with Terracotta FC and
Yes.
Great Wall United.
Yes.
I'll put that to the Blades.
Wikipedia Club.
I'm not wearing my headphones. Which bit is it?
Wikipedia Club.
Oh, that's me.
Why don't you keep them on?
Where's my hair?
You've never, in the entire time I've known you, done anything with your hair.
Wikipedia Club.
I feel like you just put it on like a Lego man in the morning. It's exactly
I mean,
the same.
you're sailing into murky waters with that.
You're right. I'm already well out of my depth. I'm reversing.
Shall we do the Wikipedia Club?
Hair is not a strong point.
FC Pune City.
Now, this is a family Oh, yeah, I know where you're going with this.
Where am I going?
This is India.
India.
Yeah.
FC Pune City are an Indian football club based in the city of Pune, in a state that I can't pronounce. Maharashtra. No. Maharashtra. No. I'm just not going to pronounce it.
Is it Kama Sutra?
FC Pune City are an Indian football club based in the city of Pune, India. They play in the Indian Super League. They are owned by the Rajesh Wadhawan Group and the Bollywood actor Aryan Kapoor. In 2016, Pune became the only professional club in India to have teams which participated in all levels of professional football. The Super League, the Under-18 League, the Under-16 League, the Under-14 League and the Women's League. Founded in 2014 at the inauguration of the Indian Super League, Pune City are currently in just their 5th season as a football club.
Oh, can I just stop you there? Cricket has just come onto my telly, and I feel like we must change the channel. I can't even accidentally watch cricket. There we go. Back on terra firma.
Well, you've got Scottish football.
Well, you're right. Let's just turn it off.
They play their club football at the Sri Shiv Chhatrapati Sports Complex, which has a capacity of, and I know you'd like to guess.
I think it's going to be quite large. India's got a lot of folk in it. I'm going to say it's 50,000.
9,110.
Right, so you steered me completely.
I did,
Right,
yes.
thank you.
I did. Off the pitch, Pune City have achieved a number of firsts in Indian football. They're the first club to have their own club shop selling merchandise.
In Tesco's.
So
Callback.
That's what we call a throwback. They are the first club to have a digital loyalty program in which fans can redeem points to buy tickets, merchandise, or get discounts at local restaurants and stores. And most excitingly,
Wow, that was pretty exciting.
they're the first football club in India to offer free Wi-Fi.
No way.
Oh, yeah. So they are very popular amongst their fans, who are known as the Orange Army after the colour of kit that the club play. They play in all orange. They have a fierce rivalry with Mumbai City FC for reasons that are a little bit sad, actually. I mean, Mumbai and Pune are the only clubs from their individual states in India. All the other clubs have like a local rival, a neighbouring club.
Oh, they don't.
They don't have a
So we thought, we'll just hate you.
So we're just, they
Combined-
collectively agree to hate each other.
That's beautiful. Who would you like to hate? Do you have a human that you hate, or do you need me to introduce
I
you
have a
to
couple
some-
of humans.
Oh,
that I
okay.
hate,
Because
yeah.
I don't hate another person, so I feel like you
think
should.
we know that's not true.
Oh, Gareth Ainsworth.
Yes.
So you're thinking of.
And all those other people. Actually, no, I don't suppose you hate me. You just don't like anyone.
Yeah, I suppose that's different.
You've got
isn't
kind
it?
of like a mild distaste for most people.
Only most people that I meet.
Yes.
There's loads of people I haven't met yet.
But you're prepared to dislike them
Oh,
when
of
you do.
course. When I do,
absolutely.
yes, yeah.
On the pitch, the former Pune City has not been so good. In each of their first 3 seasons, they failed to reach the playoff stage of the Indian Super League, which is the top 4. They go to a playoff, basically a semi-final and a final to determine the league champion. They finished 6th, 7th and 6th in those 3 seasons. In the 4th season, though, the most recent season completed at time of speaking, they did finish 4th and reached the semi-final where they were beaten by Bengaluru in the semi-final.
I'm buying it.
Of their current squad,
Oh, please tell me that Nani plays for Pune. What are they called?
Nani?
Punani.
Oh, no. Of their current squad, and I think finally, it should have been really at the beginning, but there will be a pronunciation warning.
Yeah, I think that was a given.
Their current squad, goalkeeper Vishal Kaith, defender Sarthak Goli, and midfielder Ashik Karunian.
Is it actually Karinian?
Ashik Karunian
Oh, okay.
were all part of India's recent Asian Cup squad, and they are supplemented by some fine foreign talents as well, in the form of the former Celta Vigo attacker Jonathan Villa, and a couple of names that you may well be familiar with. Former Nottingham Forest centre-back Matt Mills, and the ex-Tranmere Rovers forward Ian Hume.
Controversial.
Is it?
Well, I'm a Sheffield United fan, and he got injured playing against the Blades, a very serious injury.
Yeah.
Chris Morgan accidentally elbowed him in the skull, and it happens. And he got sort of misdiagnosed. Was told just to go to sleep, be all right, and he had a fractured skull, and really never completely fulfilled his potential after that.
Well, he's playing his train now in India.
I'm very happy for him.
Very
he's still
pleased
playing.
At the age of 35, still going. And these players have helped Pune up to the heady heights of 276th in the Asian club rankings. They are just behind Montedio Yamagata.
This is far from Montedious.
In their brief history, they've had some quite big-name foreign players. Kostas Katsaradis, European Championship winner with Greece.
Mm-hmm.
Adrian Mutu, friend of the podcast.
Oh, how are we doing, by the way, with the Mutu fundraiser?
About there.
That's more than I thought, yeah.
Didier Zakura, formerly of Tottenham Hotspur.
Ivory Coast International.
The former Liverpool midfielder Mohamed Sissoko. Tunchai, who we mentioned when we were talking about Fenerbahce. He is a former Pune player. Nicky Shuri. Remember him?
Reading left-back.
Former England left-back.
Yeah.
And a striker you may be familiar with, David Trezeguet. Played 9 times. Do you want to guess how many goals?
He was Mr. Goals.
Mr. Goals.
I'll say he scored a goal a game.
So you're going 9 and 9.
9 and 9.
He scored twice.
That's less.
Former coaches, David Platt.
Did he actually have the badges this time, unlike when he was at Sampdoria?
Oh, controversial.
Well, he didn't have the badges. It's hardly controversial.
He didn't. Their current coach, settle in everyone for this. Their current coach, Mr. Phil Brown.
This is the best trip I've ever been on.
It's a long trip as well, all the way to India.
Don't want to go home. Everybody, get on the dance floor. I'm going on holiday to Italy. Ra ra, Roma. Roma, Roma. I'm going to Roma Animals doing a joke. That's a Lady Gaga song. Get on the dance floor. Sun-kissed skin so hot will make you popsicle. Whoa. This is the best trip I've ever... Shy Guy.
What was that last bit?
Jason Derulo.
Wow.
Brownies, boys. My milkshake brings all the boys to the yard.
I mean, it's good stuff.
It's that Phil Brown, right?
I still don't know. No, it's not. It is that Phil Brown.
Okay,
Hoping
good,
to follow in the footsteps of John Gregory by lifting the Indian Super League title. That is Pune City.
Well done, Adam. You got through it.
I'm not even sure that's how you pronounce Pune. It might be. It might be Pune.
It's not. We have a guest that we are welcoming all the way from Turkey. Adam, we're branching out. It's now an international edition of
This
Just
is
Not
exciting, isn't it?
I'm quite excited that I reckon I can get this name said correctly. First time. Welcome, Behic Ishikli.
Yes. Well, Helen, Adam, I'm really, really excited, and at the same time, I think I'm really, really grateful for you guys for having me here.
And you are being listened to by literally tens of people.
Now, you are a Galatasaray fan. We thought we should redress the balance after last week Adam brought Fenerbahce as our Wikipedia club entry. So tell us a little bit about Gala.
Shame on you, mate.
Well,
Shame on you
in
because,
my
you got that
defence,
first.
I was unaware of this guest when I was doing that.
Well, that's because this wasn't lined up then at that point.
Indeed.
Well, actually, Behic, we should mention before we get to find out quite a lot about you, your English is fantastic.
It's impeccable.
Tell us why.
Well, I've been studying English since I was a kid, and at the same time, I've been watching Premiership matches when I was a kid. I try to imitate all the commentators and whatever. My favourite commentator is actually Peter Brackley.
Oh, so that's why you've enjoyed my Peter Brackley impression, and God rest his soul.
Of course.
You can have a go after this. So here we go. Gabriel Batistuta.
Pro Evo series, as you guys know, remember that. And he said that, oh, they're really going for that ball. He says that, or something else like, I can't tell a lie, he's missed. Which is interesting. Why he did say that.
That's true. Yeah, I think I definitely win the impression off. Now, tell us a little bit about your team, Galatasaray.
Galatasaray is one of the biggest clubs in Turkey, especially the biggest European side in Turkey. We've won many European Cups, actually. We've been through many qualifications in Europe and whatever. We've beaten many big clubs in the other countries. So should I talk about how did they established, if you guys want it?
If you know it.
The team was founded in 1905 in Istanbul, Galatasaray High School, actually. The Galatasaray High School at that time in Ottoman Empire was a big high school, prestigious high school, which the people who are called sultanis, sultani means actually the people's fathers or the relatives work for the government, and they are high-class people in the Ottoman Empire during that time. The people started to create something in football. During that time in Istanbul, there was this Istanbul League, and in Istanbul League, there was these teams whose players were English, Greek people, Armenian people, and they said that they wanted to make their own version, create a team and try to compete against them as a national team, actually. But we had some up and downs, and of course there was this, First World War era. When you talk about the, Galatasaray, the first thing that comes into your mind is the, 2000s UEFA Cup run, which we won, actually. But I have 3 questions for you guys if you want to answer.
Go on.
What is Galatasaray's iconic animal? Because in Turkey, teams are actually divided as animals. They're seen as animals.
I'm going to say a bear, Adam.
A bear?
Mm.
See, this is a tough one. Bursaspor, I think, are crocodiles, aren't they?
Because of the stadium.
Because of the big stadium.
Discussed,
I think
yeah.
Besiktas are eagles.
All right.
I'm good at naming ones that aren't Galatasaray.
Should I reveal the answer?
No, I want Adam to struggle and grope unsuccessfully and get it wrong
I'm
first.
I'm gonna have a guess. It's a real stab in the dark. I'm gonna go with a hawk.
Oh, I thought you were going to say a horse. Oh, I hope it's a horse now.
Galatasaray's iconic animal is actually a lion. The lion, actually, the animal comes from Nihat Bedik, who is our former player from way back. His nickname was actually Lion. The people, just embraced it, and then, well, it turned out to be Lion. We are all lions now. Question 2. What were Galatasaray's first colours before it turned into red and yellow?
Do you know, if this was on Fenerbahce, I would, having done the Wikipedia Club a couple of weeks ago, I would nail this. I'm going to go with just red.
I'll say that it probably wasn't too different, and I'll say that it was yellow and blue. So the colours of Fenerbahce, and they changed it.
That seems unlikely, but we'll find out.
I think there was a clash, and one of them decided to change.
Adam was actually quite close, but not right. It was red and white. Like I said before, they wanted to represent the country during that time. And there's a story about this, actually. When they played their first game, there was this Sultan Abdülhamit II, one of his agents, came to the match and then told players to change the kits. There was no other kits, so they had to forfeit the match. So they went to a tailor in Turkey, whose name was Fat Yanko. They went to his store and told him to bring up some clothes. The first one was actually dark red, and the second one is actually orangish yellow. So when they saw that, they were fascinated with the colours. So they bought those, and then it stuck with those forever. Sometimes we use purple too, which lots of people don't really like this, to be honest, but I really like it because it's kind of a royal thingy, and, we're the most prestigious clubs in Turkey.
Oh, good. Well, I'm glad you learnt the English word for thingy, and I hope that the third question isn't, can you name the Turkish tailor? Because I don't know how you know that much detail, Paige, but that's incredible.
He was not actually Turkish.
Oh, was he not?
He was a foreigner. Yeah.
Of course he was. Okay, and we'll get further questions on that tailor later on. What about that third question, though?
How many European Cups that Galatasaray have is the question.
3.
Adam?
Is it not only the one?
The answer is actually 2, because I like to call, Super Cup as a UEFA Cup as well. I mean, as a European Cup.
Of course they did. They beat Real Madrid, if I remember right.
Yes, we did.
I want to amend my answer to 2.
Well, I think I've got to give Adam the points there.
You got that, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, one of us had to win, unless we were going to go into like a penalty shootout, which we weren't going to do. But that would have been appropriate for 2000. Now, Behic, before we go, have you had a chance to think about your Galatasaray fan favourite 11?
Yes, of course, I did that. Goalkeeper is Claudio Taffarel, who played in Brazil's national team and, of course, Galatasaray till the end of his career. And actually, he's known to be with his save against Thierry Henry in UEFA Cup final in 2000. It was an impossible save, but he did it.
What formation is this team playing?
It is actually 4-4-2.
Of course it is. Everyone apart
everyone
from
has
Matthew because he just had a.
Well, he just had a. I don't think he understood.
I don't even know what a podcast
But everybody
is.
else has done 4-4-2, so it's keeping with tradition.
It was
I
only
like it.
when I went to a Norwich match and I tried to tell people about the podcast that I was actually confronted with people saying, "What is a podcast?" So apart from that, everyone has kind
Where
of been.
were they from?
They were from Norwich. So everyone has been
Wow.
alright with it since then, but that was the
that
first
was
time.
not that. That what? That
I
was
don't
like the
know.
West Country.
I've gone too far down now.
You've gone the wrong side.
Anyway, we've interrupted Behich. We've got
Yes.
Taffarel in goal. Good keeper. Like it. Strong start.
I'll go for the fullbacks now. The first one is actually Agum Pembe, who's a left back, and his nickname is the Bone. And at the same time, I like to call him the Iceman because of his cold-blooded play. The right back is Capone. He did play for us for a while, and then he went, but he was a great player. UEFA Cup finalist.
Known in the dressing room as Al.
Yeah, no.
I got
Yeah,
that,
yeah,
too.
it's
Good.
yeah,
We're all on the
yeah.
same page
Yeah.
now.
Centre-backs will be Popescu, great international. He played for Romanian national team, and at the same time, of course, he played for Barcelona, and he won the cup here too. He played, well, as a sweeper, but at the same time, he can play as a centre-back, so I put him right there.
Who was it that scored the sort of winning penalty? It was a penalty, wasn't it? It was him, wasn't it?
Yes.
Yeah, I thought I remembered that. Good.
Another centre-back is Bülent Korkmaz, our team captain. The great captain he's called. He actually played in the final when his shoulder was dislocated. And it was just interesting because he played with the bandages that was, wrapped around his shoulder. He said that I didn't want to leave the team down,
Well, you don't need
He
your
did.
shoulder, do you, for football?
Not really.
Nah.
In England, obviously, we have the image of Terry Butcher with his blooded head
Mm-hmm.
playing it. Was it Italy he was playing against? So obviously that is the equivalent for Galatasaray
A
fans.
sore shoulder.
The captain, band. A dislocated shoulder is a pretty painful thing.
I've never done one.
I think you're fine.
Should we reenact that in the studio
So,
now?
I mean, to dismiss it so lightly, I think you are wrong, sir. You
All
are
right,
wrong.
we've got your defence sorted, Behich. We're moving into the midfield.
I have two centre midfielders. So the first one is Georgi Hagi, the Romanian player, of course, a big player for Galatasaray, and he played for many teams, of course. I mean, Steaua Bucharest, Real Madrid. He played for them too. He played for Barcelona, and finally Galatasaray. He played till 2001, and then he retired from professional football. He scored many, wicked goals for Galatasaray, so that's why I love him. The other centre midfielder is actually Wesley Sneijder.
Oh,
He plays for
yeah.
Galatasaray.
What a player.
That's a fine midfield partnership, Hagi and Sneijder.
This is
isn't it?
probably the best midfield partnership we've had yet.
By far.
Yeah.
But the only problem that could have been is that both these guys are quite short, so that could have been some
Yeah, there's not a
problem
lot
in
of
the
tracking
midfield.
back going on here either, but I think with this powerful midfield, you wouldn't need to do too much of that. You could win 5-4 every week.
I hope. We'll go for the wingers. The first winger is actually Hassan Shash.
That's what I was
Played
thinking.
There he, that was the name that popped
I was
into my
hoping
head.
for Hassan Sass, yeah, brilliant player.
He played against Brazil and scored one against Brazil, which is great. And he played that. He played in that season really nicely, so he was really famous at that time. The other winger, right winger, will be Harry Kewell,
Oh,
who played for
interesting.
Leeds, Liverpool. He flopped out at Liverpool actually, and he played for Galatasaray at the till the end of his career. Played nicely here. He said that I reborn here in Turkey. It was just a reborn for him.
Reborn,
that.
yeah. He actually had gout at one point.
Didn't realise Harry Kewell played for Galatasaray long enough to really have made a sort of an impact with the fans.
He's
But
he's
clearly he
no
did.
Colin Kazim-Richards. I'm amazed he hasn't made it.
Well, he didn't play much in Galatasaray. He only played for one season and 2 seasons, and then he went. He's actually played for Fenerbahce more actually. But we love Colin Kazim. He's a great player.
Can you forgive him for having played for Fenerbahce?
He played beforehand, and then after that he came to us. So I think the Fenerbahce fans should not forgive him for that.
Right, that
They're
makes sense.
okay.
That makes sense. So is there a hatred of players that have played for one of the rival clubs?
Yes, actually we have. One example could be Haim Revivo, Israeli player. He played for Fenerbahce and then went to Galatasaray, and which is a big controversy at that time, during that time. And he was really, he was booed in Super Sarajevo when he went to play against his former club. So, yeah, we have a
Interesting.
bit of hatred.
I think, Beige, this is going to be very similar to our Celtic 11, where everyone knows one of the strikers
Yes.
that you're going to pick.
I feel like I could have a stab at both.
You reckon?
I don't know. I mean, they've had some good strikers,
Beige, would
Galatasaray.
you mind if Adam tried to guess your two strikers?
Of course he can.
Well, I think the name you're also thinking. In fact, do you want to go for the
Hakan Şükür,
Hakan Şükür? I'm presuming is one
Well,
of
you
them.
got that one. Yes.
I seem to remember
Blackburn legend.
both Galatasaray and Turkey. He partnered Arif, whose surname I
Arif.
can't remember.
He's not going to be on the list.
Oh,
Yeah, you got that right. Before that, preparing the 11, I said, yeah, I'm going to put, Arif in because there's this political issue, so I'm just not going to put, both of them. But I just liked it to, put Hakan Şükür here because big legend.
And what is Arif's first name? We've both forgotten.
Well, his first name is Arif, and his surname is Erdem.
All right,
Yeah.
so who partners Hakan Şükür?
Biggest legends of all time in Turkish football is Metin Oktay. If you guys don't know him, well, that's normal because he's an old player.
We don't know him, but we now are intrigued.
When you say old, how far back are we going?
We'll go to, I think, 1950s and 1960s during that time. He's
feel-
actually the first Turkish player to actually play in, international, in a different country. Played for Palermo. He got back to Turkey after that.
Oh, so he was a trendsetter. He was the first one to play overseas.
Many followed.
Yes.
Oh, well, that is a really, really good 11. And before you go, Behic, it's worth saying that you do also follow an English club side. Can you tell us who that is?
Well, I support Liverpool since I was a kid, so, it's been, I think, 19 years. So, yeah, I've been supporting Liverpool since, I was a kid, so I love Liverpool. And one day I really want to go to Anfield to watch the match. We actually established ourselves a fan club here, and we actually gather around and watch the matches here in Istanbul. We are Liverpool FC Turkey, so we are actually official in the Liverpool website. So you guys can check us out. And if you come to Turkey as a Liverpool supporter or whatever, you can come here, watch the matches with us.
I'm guessing there are maybe a couple or 3 or 4 Sheffield United Turkish fan groups. Yeah,
3 or 4.
Yeah,
5, 6.
I haven't seen that, but the thing is, I really love Sheffield United more than Wednesday, to be honest.
Good man. Why?
I like Blades.
I love Blades. That's a terrifying reason. Just knives.
Because, you guys played in, Premiership during, 06, 07 season. So, I really liked, you guys, seeing there, watching the matches, playing against Sheffield United. It was really nice, actually.
The interesting thing, I suppose, is that in that season you just mentioned, when I went to Anfield to watch Sheffield United lose to Liverpool, it was the same day I met my now wife. It was right after that game. So I suppose Liverpool will always have a small soft spot in my heart.
Every cloud.
Behic, thank you so much for being part of the podcast and for being one of our loyal supporters from overseas. We really do appreciate it.
It's a pleasure to be here, to be honest, guys. Thank you for you guys to having me here. Still couldn't get rid of my the pressure on me, so
you did great.
You did fine. Yes, the pleasure was ours. That was genuinely very interesting.
It was.
I enjoyed that little insight into Galatasaray. Do we now have to do something for Beşiktaş?
We do. We're now going to have to go through the whole Turkish league.
Oh, that's fine. It's a fun league.
Who does no one really support Behic in Turkey that we don't have to bother with?
There's this one plot team that was made in 2014 and it's called Başakşehir.
Aren't they currently top of the league?
Yeah, I think they're sitting first in the league and we don't really like them. No one likes them, actually, because they are a government-backed team. And we don't really know where the money comes from.
Haven't they had some big-name players, though?
Robinho recently joined them, I believe.
Robinho, they signed Robinho recently, and they have signed, I think, 2015 at Adebayor.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yes.
Wow, I'm glad I asked that question. Well, Behic Işıklı, did I get that right?
Yes.
Nice. Galatasaray and Liverpool, obviously, fan from Turkey, currently setting up a subsidiary Sheffield United Turkey supporters group. We really enjoyed speaking with you. Thank you again.
Thank you very much.
Right, pretend you've got your headphones on.
Pretend.
The mysterious player of mystery.
Oh, I'm gonna be honest here. I'm struggling with this one. I've got a player in my mind, but
you seem unsure.
I am unsure.
Well, I think there is no, harm in getting the position because I feel like that will cement you at least a point because I think you probably know it.
But I need more than a point.
Oh, well, if I keep making a hash of it like I did last time, I don't think you do really.
There's a lot of honour amongst this game, isn't there? So we don't make it too hard for each other, but at the same time, we don't want anyone to get points.
Exactly. And just for that one person that thinks we, plan the whole thing in advance.
And that we are indeed in those cahoots.
In the cahoots.
We're not in those hoots.
We're really not. You don't know how unhappy it makes me when he gets it right.
And we never talk before we do this podcast.
After.
I think you can tell. Okay, give us the career history, please.
Metz, Salernitana, Liverpool, West Ham, Cologne, Lens, Galatasaray, and Trabzonspor.
So is this player French?
Now that's a follow-up question.
Okay, yeah, I'm not going to ask that. So the player might be from a French territory, is what you might be saying it.
The player started their career at Metz. Would you like the position?
I'm not there yet, so they could be from the Cameroon. There's two players I'm thinking of that both played for Liverpool and West Ham.
Okay.
That's kind of all I know, really, about their careers. So I'm struggling a little bit.
Okay.
I
think I know who those two players are as well.
Do you?
Yeah.
Okay.
But I can't obviously say.
One of them is a defender, one of them is a striker.
I definitely think I know who these players are.
Ah,
Do you want the position?
no, because I need to get the full points.
But it was going to be funny. I was going to say midfielder.
Because I just said defender and
'Cause
striker, so it's not a midfielder.
Yeah. A goalkeeper.
So what it... Right, so you're not going to tell me.
Well, I will if you want.
No, I don't want.
If you want to make an
No.
official request.
No, I do not want to make an official request. I want 3 points. I'm saying Ringobert's song.
It's Titi Kamara.
Damn it! That's who I was thinking of! That's who I was thinking of first! I changed my bastard mind!
Do you know, I really enjoyed that. It was Rigobert's song.
Yes!
But I really enjoyed the reaction.
Yes!
I was quite pleased that I guessed who
11.
the other striker or the other player was.
You did well. The
I
game
feel
is
like
now...
I should get a bonus point.
The game is now, guess what I'm thinking. So it's 11-10 to me.
He was born in Nkenglikok.
Now, come on. Did you just make that up?
No, it's written right in front of me.
He could be a fake footballer.
Nkenglikok.
Lee Kinglycock.
Nkenglikok in Cameroon.
You really... I'm on an emotional roller coaster there, Adam.
Do you know he played 137 times for Cameroon?
I do know.
That's a lot of games. How many goals?
6?
5. Currently, at time of speaking, in charge of the Cameroon under-23 team.
Is he?
Yeah. Rigobert Song. Uncle? Was he of Alex Song?
I don't know. Does that help?
You've just fallen apart, haven't you?
Don't know.
You've
I'm just really
lost
happy
your
now.
composure.
Shy guy.
If we happen to be holidaying in the beautiful country of Australia, maybe the Central Coast, and
Where the marinas are.
maybe you want to have a moment in our time, as many people, want pictures or autographs or whatnot, and if you do want to do that, I will let you know where you can find us, because we will see you at the beach.
You didn't plan that, did you?
Yeah.
You did. You
No,
did. Yeah,
I
was gonna
didn't.
say.
Of course I didn't.
That was like Steve Bruce's face. That was all over the place.